No trace of a social media cauldron was bubbling when Kevin Martin reached the NBA in 2004. He arrived from tiny Western Carolina, far from the glamour of UCLA, and went on to play 12 mostly noise-free seasons at the highest level without his father unleashing even one inflammatory quote. Yet you could argue that the recently retired Martin, for all the differences between their backgrounds, can identify with the incessantly scrutinized Los Angeles Lakers phenom Lonzo Ball as much as any player, current or former. Don't get hung up on the fact that Martin was the 26th overall pick in his NBA draft, compared to Ball at a heady number 2. Or that Martin was known for finishing plays from the wing as opposed to Ball's being asked to run a team from the point as a 20-year-old. You will see it instantly if you watch old clips of Martin's, shall we say, distinctive shooting stroke, which has a renewed relevance amid the ceaseless conversation about the way Ball, the prized rookie point guard for the Lakers who is forever hyped for greatness by his father, LaVar, slings the ball at the basket with a release point to the left of his left eye. People were telling me, "This kid shoots just like you," Martin said in a phone interview last week, recalling how he learned of his new perimeter doppelganger in the lead-up to the draft last summer. "And I was like, there's no way somebody else shoots like me. I never thought my form would come to the surface again in basketball history. Then I saw him and said, we have the exact same starting point and end point. It's crazy." New Yorkers will get their first up-close glimpse of the most scrutinized shot mechanics in the sport Tuesday night at Madison Square Garden, when the Knicks host the Lakers and Ball brings his unsightly shooting percentages of .321 from the floor, .246 from three-point range and .471 from the free throw line into one of the N.B.A's most storied buildings. Ball's struggles to not only make shots but also to consistently free himself from defenders to comfortably uncork his wonky jumper recently prompted the ESPN analyst and former All-Star guard Chauncey Billups in one of those trademark TMZ video interviews at Los Angeles International Airport to advise the rookie to reach out to Martin for advice. Turns out Billups isn't the only one who has had that thought. Corey Brewer, the veteran Lakers forward who is close friends with Martin, passed along Ball's phone number in hopes that the two might connect. But the ever-polite Martin, who was reluctant to be interviewed as he would like to keep a respectful distance given the daily hoopla Ball already endures, said he wouldn't dare impose himself on Ball in the middle of his rookie campaign. "It's not something you want to mess with during the season," Martin said. "Sit down after the season and evaluate everything. Guys don't want to hear it right now, every little thing that everybody else is saying. There could be a right time later on." Regardless of whether Ball ever seeks out Martin, or vice versa, one presumes it would hearten Ball as well as nervy Lakers officials, coaches and fans to hear that Martin would advocate only small refinements to Ball's current approach rather than a wholesale reconstruction. That's the way Martin did it, tuning out his own chorus of naysayers by making subtle but crucial changes, summer after summer, starting after his freshman year of college. The Sacramento Kings, who drafted Martin, would later press him to anchor the ball on his right hip before proceeding into his launch, but the big adjustments occurred between the ages of 19 to 21 under the tutelage of David Thorpe, who was recommended to Martin by an assistant at Western Carolina. Martin would ultimately make Clearwater, FLA, his off-season home to work exclusively with Thorpe, who has trained numerous NBA players, such as Brewer, Miami's Udonis Haslem, Golden State's Omri Caspi and the Knicks' Courtney Lee, and worked for a decade as an NBA analyst for ESPN.com. "Lonzo's shot is exactly how mine was through my freshman year of college." Exactly, Martin said. The NBA is a faster game, so I knew I had to tweak it just a little. Just moving the ball to the right a little bit, away from my face on the release, helped tremendously. Combined with the Kings' subsequent input, which included counsel from the likes of Rick Adelman and the storied former Princeton coach Pete Carroll, Martin went on to shoot 40% or better from three-point range in 3 seasons and averaged at least 20 points per game for 5 successive NBA campaigns at his peak. When we started working together, Kevin released his shot left of his left eye, too, Thorpe said. But in the end.B.A, once we started shifting his shot, he shot the ball mostly from the middle of his forehead and up. Thorpe said several top analytics experts he has consulted contend that free throw percentage in the college game is a better indicator of future three-point success in the NBA than collegiate three-point shooting. Ball's promising conversion rate from deep, .412, in his one collegiate season, combined with his underwhelming free throw percentage, .672, as a Bruin, would seem to back that up. But in Martin's career arc, even though so much of it played out away from the spotlight, Ball should see hope. It's such a funky form, but Coach Adelman used to tell me, I don't care what it looks like as long as it goes in, Martin said. Once I got to year 3, I never really heard about it ever again until Lonzo came along. No surprise there. Even with Martin largely out of the game since finishing the 2015-16 season with San Antonio, apart from some part-time ambassadorial work he has done for the league office, chatter stemming from all things Ball is difficult to avoid. But the beyond his years poise Ball has shown, amid such a loud and difficult indoctrination to the pros, is praiseworthy no matter what the numbers say. Given the depths of frenzy swirling around him. There are ultimately many things Ball can learn from Martin. A shot fake master who was adept at getting to the foul line to supplement his long-range work. Pump fakes, cleaner footwork, better finishing at the rim, adding a mid-range floater. Those are all areas where Ball must improve to become more of a scoring threat and make it easier to take advantage of his truly special gifts as a passer. It would be nice, though, if some patience and perspective could be applied here, especially when Lonzo only turned 20 in late October and is responsible for generating so little of the LeVar-fueled chaos he finds himself in. As no less an authority than Golden State's Stephen Curry said recently, attempting to diffuse the pressure that seems to mount on Ball daily, I hope you didn't judge me off my first 20 games in the league, either. One suspects there will be little leniency from the audience in Ball's first glimpse of the Garden glare, but he has already won a loyal fan in Martin, who confesses that he's been watching more of the Lakers than ever before. The kid's going to be all right, Martin said. He's going to be a great shooter when it's all said and done. If anyone is qualified to make that forecast, it's Kevin Martin.